Hey church, Pastor Brian back. Day 17, chapter 17 of Acts. Let's keep going. So there's this uproar among the Thessalonians. There's this uproar going on, okay? Because they were in the synagogue to the Jews and they were preaching, Paul was doing on the Shabbats and as he was going, but the Jews who did not believe, they got mad, right? They get so angry. But that's not what I focus on this first part. Here's the phrase that blows me away, okay? It says this in verse 6. But when they did not find them, they dragged Jason and some of the brothers to the city's officials, crying out, "These men who have turned the world upside down have come here also." Should that not be our testimony? These men who have turned the world upside down. If they could do it back then, what's keeping us from doing it? They didn't have social media. They didn't have the internet. They couldn't have their image, their voice, and their thoughts broadcast around the planet in a nanosecond. But we can. I think so many times we put God in this box. We put ourselves in this box. But yet here, the men who turned the world upside down was the title they were given. I think we can be given the same title too if we just focus on doing the work. Not getting the title, but doing the work. We can turn the world upside down. Then we read about the Bereans starting in verse 10 down to verse 15. And we love the Bereans. You always hear the phrase, be a Berean. This is where it comes from. Check this out. Then brothers immediately sent Paul and Silas away by night to Berea. When they arrived, they went to the synagogue of the Jews. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, for they received the word with all eagerness, daily examining the scriptures to find out if these things were so. They daily find out. They would receive the word, they would hear the teaching, but then they're like, look, man, love you, appreciate the word. I'm going to hit it though to make sure that it's what you say it is. So many times people just, I love this teacher, and we take everything they say, or they've never steered me wrong yet. Guys, all men, all women, we are fallible. And if we are teaching, we are coming from a point where we want to love, we want to express, and hopefully we would never manipulate the word of God. But we are fallible humans. How much greater is it if we tap in ourselves when we hear a word and we do as we should? We eat the meat and we spit out the bones. We take the good, but we get rid of the rest. I challenge you, I challenge me, anytime we hear a word, anytime someone teaches, that's what we should do. That's how we should share. Then we see Paul, he's in Athens, and his spirit was provoked within him as he saw this city full of idols. I hope you and I still get provoked when we see stuff around us of wickedness that shouldn't be there, stuff that shouldn't be around. But what I love about Paul is he takes a playbook of Jesus and he plays one of his plays here. In verse 22, you see Paul stood in the middle of the Areopagus and said, "Men of Athens, I perceive in all things that you are very religious. For as I passed by and looked on your objects of worship, I found an altar with this inscription." And he takes this thing of the unknown God, secular inscription, if you would, secular music maybe, likened unto today, and he uses the things from their time period, the things contemporary to them, and he uses those to reach the people. What around us can we use to reach the people around us? Folks, God made everything. Now, not everything's holy, not everything's set apart, but if it's within our sight, if it's within our grasp, and we can use it to further the kingdom, let's do it. Let's do it. Keep diving in, keep challenging. Let's be that group that turns the world on its side for Christ. Be blessed.